And welcome one and all to the ATS News. I'm Johnny Anonymous, and it is time for us once again to see what is garnering a lot of interest at our favorite #1 conspiracy website in the world, AboveTopSecret.com. When it comes to men and women, who would you say is the more evolved of the two? Well, I can already tell that probably hands are going to be flying up on both sides of the room. But according to new research, men may actually be evolving at a faster pace. ATS member Seattle Truth brought to our attention a bit of research that is being published in an upcoming issue of Nature magazine. And according to Dr. David Page, the director of the Whitehead Institute in Cambridge, he claims that the Y chromosome appears to be the most rapidly evolving of the human chromosomes. It's an almost ongoing churning of gene reconstruction. It's like a house that's constantly being rebuilt, according to Dr. Page. Now, the 2-year research took twice as long as expected because of the evolutionary changes that were found. But now, before us men get it full of ourselves, the lead author, Jennifer Hughes, offers some words of caution by adding, "The story is not as cut and dried as many would have liked to have predicted. It's kind of fun to say that men are going to die out, but the science is proving, now that we've got our data, that that's just not true at all." So I would just like to apologize to all the ladies right here and now and say, we're sorry. It looks like us guys are going to be around for a bit longer. In an interesting thread presented by I Am Only Human, apparently the world has been misled over the Himalayan glacier meltdown. This according to an article published by the Times Online. The article states a warning that climate change will melt most of the Himalayan glaciers by the year 2035 is likely to be retracted after a series of scientific blunders by the United Nations body that issued it. 2 years ago, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, better known as the IPCC, issued a benchmark report that was claimed to incorporate the latest and most detailed research into the impact of global warming. A central claim was the world's glaciers were melting so fast that those in the Himalayas could actually vanish by the year 2035. Experts in glaciology have said all along that they have found these claims to be ludicrous, pointing out that most Himalayan glaciers are hundreds of feet thick and could not melt fast enough to vanish by the year 2035 unless there was a huge global temperature rise. Probably ATS member Ferris Bueller, too, sums it up, the general feeling of the membership here by stating, "So truthfully, is anyone surprised that the IPCC bases their scientific conclusions on speculations and not facts?" Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? Did you hear about the latest executive order signed by President Obama? Neither did I, but apparently ATS member Kyle43 certainly did, and according to the thread article, on January 11th, the President signed an executive order establishing the Council of Governors to strengthen further the partnership between the federal government and state governments to protect our nations against all types of hazards. Now, this bipartisan council will be composed of 10 state governors who will be selected by the President to serve 2-year terms. The executive order also seems to add another layer to how the National Guard can be used, and many members were quick to throw conspiracy theories out. But unlike the thread title might suggest, there appears to be no mention at all of martial law, and many of our astute readers quickly picked up on that too. ATS member JNAR believes that there are some short-sighted observations and conjecture in this thread by stating this is nothing more than yet another paranoid rant by those who believe that the government is hell-bent on declaring martial law. Other members were suspect by the number of only 10 governors that would be picked for this special council and added their thoughts concerning the number of 10, like Skywatcher, who thinks it has a biblical significance by quoting Revelations 17, verse 12. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as the kings along with the beast. Member Down is really up suggested a different reason for the number of 10 by stating there are 10 governors, most likely because there are 10 EPA regions and also 10 FEMA regions. Now, a few members in the thread don't see much of a conspiracy at all, like Frankie Idealist 35, who states, I honestly don't see anything sinister about this. He's giving more control of the National Guard to governors. Can someone please explain to me what I'm missing? Now, of course, we're sure that this debate and the conspiracies on whether or not the document might be a precursor to martial law or a false flag or even an apocalyptic prophecy will continue for weeks to come. And, of course, we'll be keeping our eye on it. Protoplasmic Traveler brought this interesting read to our attention about a 2008 academic paper written by the head of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, Professor Cass R. Sunstein. Now, in this paper entitled Conspiracy Theories, Causes and Cures, Mr. Sunstein suggests that the government should stealthily infiltrate groups that pose alternative theories on historical events via chat rooms, online social networks, or even real space groups, and attempt to undermine percolating conspiracy theories by raising doubts about their factual premises, causal logic, or implications for political action. Now, of course, our membership has wondered about this for years with regards to infiltrating a conspiracy chat room or websites like our very own AboveTopSecret.com. Member Tailored Vagabond suggests this. If you've ever needed any proof that the U.S. government or factions within wish to impede the freedom of information by using dirty tactics to undermine a growing awareness, this is it. Schrodinger's dog proposed this interesting scenario. The more effective way to attack the conspiracy theory community is to sit back, plant a story like this one, and let our natural suspicion pit us against each other in a cataclysm of mistrust. Member Redoubt stated that for the last month or two, I have been disagreeing with those who feared that ATS might be infiltrated with disinfo agents. It just seemed like the kind of paranoia that led to the Inquisition, the Salem witch trials, and McCarthyism. But now, I'm not so sure. We, of course, think that memory shock throws a bit of irony in this proposal by Professor Sunstein with this revelation. So, let's see. The head of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs uses a term undermine when discussing conspiracy theorists, a group of people he is attempting to discredit and whom have been long associated with paranoia. As if undermine wasn't a term that denotes conflict as well by calling for an infiltration by the government, does he not realize that by definition he is calling for the birth of a conspiracy to conspire against the conspiracy theorist? You know what, Memory Shock? We couldn't agree with you more. So you say you haven't gotten your fill yet of Professor Cass Sunstein? Well, hold on to your hats, or perhaps in this case, hold on to your guns. ATS member Sean48 brought to our attention a video of the White House's czar speaking on the validity of the Second Amendment, which of course is your right to bear arms. In the variety of video snippets, one of the more interesting things presented by the professor was that for over 2 centuries since the founding, the Supreme Court has never suggested that the Second Amendment protects an individual right to have guns. Not once, he says. Now, of course, our membership had something to say about his comments, including Oogie1028, who said, I really don't like what this guy is saying. Not only has he wrote about cognitively infiltrating the truth movement and infiltrating other various conspiracy places, he is also suggesting to make it illegal to discuss conspiracies. Now he is challenging gun rights? WTF Over stated, Mr. Sunstein, give me a call and I'll draw you a map to my house where you can attempt to enter and remove my firearms. Chrono Goblin said, I wonder if these people actually believe. in their hearts that taking guns away from legal, law-abiding citizens will actually make guns disappear altogether. It has been said time and time again that taking guns away from law-abiding people will not make all the criminals lay down theirs. An interesting side note, this thread had over 99% of the posts all being for pro-gun ownership. You know, I mentioned in our last show that there are some very exciting things that are going to be happening this year at ATS, and we decided who better to get the straight poop from than going all the way to the top of the food chain with the CEO of AboveTopSecret.com, Mr. Bill Irvin, better known to all you members here as the Skeptic Overlord. Let's see if we have him now. Bill, are you there? Hello and welcome.
Well, hello, Johnny, and the ATS News viewers. Thank you for bringing me on the show. We have a couple things to cover, and as a lot of people know, big changes are happening in 2010 for Above Top Secret, and one of the first changes you'll see behind me is our brand new office and presence in the Phoenix, Arizona area. That's right, I'm now in the Phoenix area, and as we decided on all the different ways we might expand ATS, it's made sense to expand our headquarters and be in an area like Phoenix that's a hotbed of UFO, paranormal, New Age, and even government conspiracy topics. We are now in the center of where a lot of the stuff that gets discussed on ATS actually happens. So as we expand our presence here, we're looking to our ATS members to remind us or even clue us in on some of the people that are in this area that we should interview, or some of the events, obviously like the Phoenix Lights, that should be investigated further by a dedicated ATS crew. And it's raining here today, which is the first time I've seen actually a full day of rain since we've been in Phoenix, but so be it. Also, the second thing that I wanted to discuss is the thread that I posted not long ago announcing a redesign of ATS and looking for the help of some of our members in giving us some clues as to the kind of websites they like and what they think on how that applies to AboveTopSecret.com and an upcoming redesign. It's been 3 years since we redesigned AboveTopSecret.com with the dark matter theme that some people loved, some people hated, and received a lot of controversy. We're just trying to make sure that we cover all the bases, and there's much less controversy with people hating the new design this time out. And so we've turned to our members. We've had a lot of great responses that have ranged from perhaps keep it clean and simple, or make it even more clean and simple, to why the hell aren't you guys using Ajax and other more complicated technologies. We certainly want to keep it simple, but we also want to update the look and feel of AboveTopSecret.com, and especially think about as the new decade is upon us, what features, functions, even stylistically format changes need to be made to this core discussion board format that we've had running for 8-10 years now. It's starting to feel like a little dated around the edges and maybe could use a refresh or a rethink, and that's where we stand. So again, to our members, keep contributing to the thread, keep your eyes open for some ideas as we present maybe some concepts for the members to discuss, and even some future threads asking members what new functionality features they'd like to see in AboveTopSecret.com. But I do understand that many of our members are still going to be concerned, no matter how much I say here, about the changes that are coming, and I just want to reassure everyone that we do feel your concerns are important. We are taking them to heart, and we will not give you such a drastic change that you'll go running away from Above Top Secret.
Well, that's good to know. Is there going to be a time frame for when we might see this happening at the new ATS?
No, not really. All we can say is sometime within the year 2010. How's that? Nail it right down there for you.
Well, of course, that does make sense. Now, is there anything that us members can do to possibly help?
Well, it's funny that you should ask. We have taken the spirit of the collaborative sense of Above Top Secret and put the redesign up for bid on crowdspring.com. It's a collaborative community of designers, and there's a cash reward. So if any ATS members would like to participate, they simply need to join CrowdSpring, find our creative brief, and submit a design. And when you submit a design, make sure you let us know you're an ATS member, and we'll give you just a little bit of an extra credence to what you provide.
Well, that sounds terrific, Bill. We certainly do appreciate you stopping by and filling us all in. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
And before we go, I just want to throw this one at you simply on the merits of my never seen anything like this before. There was a thread posted up by member Max_TO of what is considered to be a rather unique aerial phenomena. They seem, though, to occur quite regularly every spring over Australia. It is called a morning glory cloud, and it can usually stretch about 1,000 kilometers in length and generally occurs at altitudes of about 2 kilometers high. Now, these clouds can actually reach airspeeds of 60 kilometers or more over a surface with little discernible wind. The tubes and surrounding air can cause dangerous turbulence for airplanes, but they certainly are a sight to behold, and I just wanted to share that with you before we go. Well, friends, that's going to do it for all of us here at the ATS News. We appreciate you joining us and hope that you will do so again real soon. Remember, if it's not on AboveTopSecret.com, then it just probably doesn't matter. Until next time, take care.